Hi, what's up? I'm Andre from the YouTube channel Blattner Comedy, Eddie, the Blue Ranger on Power Rangers Hyperforce, and you're watching Power Rangers Action Activate.
What's going on? It's me, Gazbot. Not really ready. Having the big dog on screen by accident. He didn't even know. He's back, and what a triumphant return it is.
It is. I'm back from my hiatus.
This is Action Activate.
It is. It is Action Activate. I'm back from my hiatus. These go in a weird order, so yes. I'm back from last recording.
The funny thing is, for me and for you, it's been weeks. Mm-hmm. For the viewers, I think there's only going to, because I try to space it out, I think there'll be like 1 week where you're like, this is my last one, and then me and Steve, and now you're back. Yep. Which is what we hoped would happen, but we didn't know, because you've had a lot of life things going on. Did you want to maybe tell people why you haven't been around for a few weeks?
Yes, so I was off for a few weeks because I am now the big dad dog. I helped my wife bring a child into the world a few weeks ago. I was definitely a support.
That makes it sound like you were the doctor. Like
I was there and went, "Yup, keep going that way." So brought a
congrats. I've said this, but I'll say it on the show. Congrats.
Thank you. It's interesting. It's definitely a reality. It's not, like something you can, take backsies. Not that I would, but it's weird where like it's still
true. You can't take backsies.
It's still fresh enough where like it doesn't super feel set in yet. Like it still feels like something I'm doing, but like I don't know.
Like a new job where like you have the job, but things, who knows, maybe it won't work out. Like
not that, just like it's weird to say I am a dad out loud. Like it's obviously it's a reality and it's something I'm doing, but like it's just still hasn't fully set in. But it's been good. I had a terrible sleep schedule before, so nothing really changed for me, which is nice. And the kid's pretty cool, so happy to let the child grow up and start watching Rangers with me.
That's a good part of that's a very important fatherly skill. Letting the child grow up,
whether they want to or not, they will be watching Cosmic Fury with me in a few weeks. So get them ready early.
So Cosmic Fury that's the 18th, or am I making that up?
29th.
29th. Okay, so we got 2 weeks. So we're not doing a Mystic Force review. You probably knew that from the thumbnail. We talked about it, but I've been doing reviews with other people and stuff, and I wanted to catch up with the big dog. Mm-hmm. And I figured it was either we weren't going to record an episode this week or we do a catch up and film it. So that's what we're doing. Yeah. And then the next episode you see us, we'll either be reviewing Mystic Force or Cosmic Fury, depending how the timing works out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But you were just showing me, to keep it on track a little bit for Power Rangers, that you have some new Power Rangers related toys.
I do. So I have a giant backlog of stuff that is
the full screen.
Honestly like years old at this point.
Give myself full screen because he's mumbling. We can't hear him. He's off.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. What do you got?
So I got a bunch of stuff that is in my backlog. This was the most recent. I never ended up with Blue Ninjetti, so a couple weeks ago, treated myself and finished out the team.
Got it for on sale or
now retail on Amazon. I was getting some other stuff and just went bloop. I guess you could see it. I got the new Go-Kai Red a while back, but haven't even taken it out of this protective coating, as you can see. But I heard nothing but great things when it was released.
I was wondering, like, what is the difference between this and the original? If any,
brand new sculpt.
Oh, it's a brand new sculpt.
Brand new sculpt and articulation. As you can see here,
right?
Kind of hard to tell, but like the hips are different. If you have the old one, I'm sure these are more detailed and probably more show accurate.
At a glance, it looks the same, but I guess if you put them next to each other, well, here's the real question, because weirdly, I have the entire. Oh, let me get myself back in the screen here. I have the entire Gokaiger / Super Mega Force team except for red. I even have the steering wheel, and it was a thing where he was easy to get, so I was making sure I got the rest first, and then all of a sudden he wasn't easy to get anymore. So I'm now wondering if I get this re-release or retooling, is it going to be noticeably like not match my others?
Yes.
So
honestly, though, you could probably track down the old one cheaper now that everybody is upgrading to this.
Are they going to re-release the whole team, or have they re-released the whole team? Well, because I'm thinking anybody that has the team is going to want them to match. So are they going to be? Well, I guess I can look.
I am in a separate boat from you, where my goal was to get this and then eventually 2 Kaiser, and just kind of have them as like a pair.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess I'll figure that. But I guess good news for those that just want Gokai Red, and maybe good news for people like me that missed the other one and want to complete their set.
And then for anybody. For anybody else who cares, as you figure out your Ranger backlog, we both have this. I don't think you opened yours either, but
oh yeah,
but we both have the Astro Mega Ship that we haven't opened after.
This is the main backlog I have right here. Same thing.
Yep.
I think I got mine cheaper than you got yours because you got it. When it
we don't have to talk about that part. But you
got me the sale, so I appreciate that.
Speaking of things we got cheaper than we should have.
Yes. I'm looking for.
Ya boy got this a while ago.
Is that the 3-0? What is that?
Yeah, to finish out my my set.
3-0 Green Ranger, nice.
No, it's the full 6 Mighty Morphin.
Okay. So wait, you said to finish out your set.
Yeah, because, I did what everybody else did, and I got the single releases of the exclusive Rangers or the 6 Rangers, and then was like, well, maybe eventually I'll get the team in one fell swoop.
So do you have duplicates now? I mean, what do you have, Armored Red and Armored Black and Green?
I don't have Armored Black. I have Red. This comes with regular Red, and I have Armored Red.
Okay.
And then White was separate, Ranger Slayer was separate, Drakon was separate. Okay.
So you have no duplicates other than red, but arguably armored and regular. You want
the only duplicates I have are Ace Toys,
and that's the 5 core Rangers that you want to get rid of,
and Green Ranger. Yeah.
Didn't you get the Mezco Green Ranger too?
I did. Yeah, it's a good call. It's somewhere over here.
Well, while he's looking for that, let me see. I was going to
very busy. If anybody hasn't noticed, but yeah.
I've got a bit of a backlog too, but I think that the Zap Astro Mega Ship is my only Ranger. I've actually not bought a lot of Ranger stuff recently. I think I was something like with the whole Lightning Collection stuff. It was a weird thing for me where I was getting most of them, and then I got a little bit choosier, and then it became a thing where like every time I would buy one for full price, it'd be like half or less, and so I got started getting tired of doing that.
Yep.
And I think the last ones I got, actually I did get one again at a super discount. I got the Silver Ranger, which I already had Walgreens one, but I got the one on the motorcycle for $10.19. So $10.19 for the figure and the motorcycle. It's ridiculous. And so this is anytime. Like, it's like self-defeating because I want to support the line, but like, come on, it's like on clearance like a few months later, and not like a few bucks off, but like dirt cheap.
Well, remember that's what happened with Blue Centurion. Right when he came out, we got him for 12 or something.
Yes, yeah, and he's one I definitely would have paid full price for. Silver, I was kind of waiting for a sale because I already had the individual figure, but like it sort of took a lot of the urgency out of getting the figures, and so there's a lot of teams that like I either didn't complete or I didn't start. I should say I didn't start. And then they announced, hey, we're going on hiatus, whatever that means. Either it's done forever, they're coming back in a couple of years, who knows? But any teams that aren't completed or aren't about to be completed with the next wave that comes out, that's it. And so like with the new figures, there's a few I want, but I'm like in no hurry to get them. I'm like, I see them sitting on the pegs. They're going to go on clearance. I want to get Turbo Red for Selwyn Ward, but like he's the only one I might get as soon as I see him, just in case, you know. All the rest, I'm like, yeah, and I don't like that feeling. But I'm like, when I'm looking at like, because I collect a lot of things. And so if I'm looking at like G.I. Joe Classified or Black Series or Marvel Legends or Lightning Collection is always bottom priority. And it has been for a while because of the sales. And now it's like, well, it's not even really a line anymore. And like, I've had dark thoughts about like, maybe I don't need not all of them, not getting rid of all of them, but like it really was like a gotta catch them all sort of thing. Like I'm like, well, this is gonna be it. Like I'm getting rid of a lot of my vintage figures and stuff, and I was like, this is gonna be like and I'm like, well, now it's not gonna be it. So maybe a lot of the ones that I had like one member of a team or a ranger that isn't my favorite that I was just getting to be a completionist, I could end up getting rid of a shelf full of figures over this.
I still have the mentality of being a mostly completionist with the mindset of I'm not in a rush.
Right.
Like this was the only thing I can think of where I waited and it wasn't $6 because I never found it for $6, but I paid retail for it. So it's whatever.
I guess if I saw Dino Thunder Black, I should buy that too, because that's another one that'll.
I got him. Did I get
I guess technically red is Tommy, even though it doesn't come with a Tommy head.
Yeah, that's the last Tommy that was needed.
Yeah, even though again it doesn't come with a head, but there's enough heads floating around.
But yeah, I am trying to look at it optimistically, where my hope is when it comes back, it'll give us those same feelings as Morphicon 2018 did, where they went, here's the Lightning collection. I hope
when they showed that first White Ranger figure, I was like, this is exactly what I can't speak with. This is exactly what I wanted.
Yep.
It doesn't have crazy big muscles. It's the same rough scale as all my other collections. Like it was perfect.
Articulation, yeah, and then
And the first wave when it had like selections from like Mighty Morphin, the current season and other seasons, I'm like, that's perfect too. And yeah, I guess the other thing is it's a joyous occasion. Big Dog's back, but now we're like, let's talk about all the bummers. Like, I have not been collecting the power weapons from Mighty Morphin that they've been releasing.
Same.
And now they have this HasLab. Did they officially announce it or is it okay? So we all know a HasLab's coming. And it's the axe and the bow. Is that what it is?
So
because the other one, some amount of them were released as individuals, and now there's going to be a HasLab for four released, not counting
Dragon Dagger, Power Sword, Lance, and Daggers.
Okay, I was talking about to form the Power
Blaster or Power Cannon or whatever.
Power Cannon, yeah. So there was 3 that were released. So if you're just like, I love Trini, I'm getting hers, or I'm a big Bill, fine. But a lot of people want all of them and want to make the Power Blaster. And now, you have to buy both of these, and it's a HasLab. And if you don't get it, you're out of luck. And it's like, it is better than nothing, but I don't like it. And it's not even me that's involved. But I'm like, that doesn't feel good to me at all.
Yeah.
And what's the other thing? Oh, and then there's the Legacy, not Legacy. What are they called? The Master Morpher, the official Master Morpher, which. Has it even been announced officially yet? I feel like
not officially, but people have it.
People have it. People have reviewed it. Like Hasbro is a mess. Hasbro is a mess. I think the assumption is they're going to announce it for HasCon or PulseCon rather, or whatever the online.
Yeah, that's in 2 weeks, I think.
Right.
Wait, no, wasn't.
It has not happened yet.
I think people thought it was going to be for Power Ranger Day, and then either they did or they didn't, because I don't even remember if I looked.
Power Ranger Day, it was not. It was not.
Oh yeah, it was T-shirts.
It was as far as I can tell, it was one T-shirt, and it was not a good T-shirt. And not that it was the worst T-shirt in the world, but it looked like a random T-shirt you'd see at like a discount store that had a Power Ranger shirt. The colors weren't perfect. The art was mediocre. It was just nothing special.
At least it was $30 though.
That's true. That let you know you were paying that extra tax for getting it from Hasbro. It was worse than nothing. It was worse than nothing. Hasbro. Yeah, no. So, but meanwhile, I don't know if you've seen. I've been kind of trying not to look at it, but I've seen like a lot of the lines, like Jason David Frank lines, just a lot. And I will say I'm interested in getting this because. Well, I want it already. And I do have a custom-made Master Morpher that was gifted to me by J-Man a while back, but getting the official one with a nice stand and everything, that'd be good. And I'll have both because this one has the JDF voice lines. And it's funny because there was that tease that something was done a while ago with him. And I've seen people being like, oh, there's all these extra lines. Just say it's Morphin time or whatever, And it's like the whole reason to get this, other than it looking cool, is for those extra lines. Because every Morpher we have has like the theme song and the whatever. Like this is the bonus. This is I don't know. That's the only reason I would get it, since I already have, because most people that want one got a custom one already. You know what I mean? Like they took so long to make this happen. Do you want to say anything, or should I just keep talking the entire time?
No, I'm down. You were just on your soapbox, so I was letting you be. I agree. I think it's cool. It looks better than I thought, honestly, considering like what we've seen from them. It's going to be a lot more. I think it's supposed to be $100 versus 60, which was the last one. Which
prices have gone up across the board, so that doesn't shock.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm sure there's some way of getting it slightly cheaper if you use a Target Red card or.
Hold on though. That's the thing though. Is it going to be announced in a few weeks, or is it going to be an online exclusive for HasCon?
No.
We don't know. You say that, and if they were continuing with the Lightning Collection and business as usual, and they had more seasons coming up, I'd say, oh, yeah, no, it'll be available. But they seem to be trying to put a pause on everything.
I don't think it's a HasCon exclusive, because if it was, there would be a lot more kerfuffling that people already have it.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, because there's never been an exclusive that has been, or let me rephrase, there hasn't been a con exclusive, as far as I know, that has been already like got from overseas early. Like it's just been regular releases that people get early from either NECA, from Hasbro, from whatever.
I don't know that for sure. You're saying you know that for sure?
I am very positive that that is the case, because especially if it's something they were going to have as an exclusive, I think it would be made a bigger deal. They would announce it right away. It's kind of like with the trailer leak. Like, remember when the Cosmic Fury thing leaked early, and then they're like, here it is, I guess. Like,
right.
So I think they would get in front of it if it was that way.
Okay. All right. I hope you're right. And if it is an exclusive, it's just like a box or something that doesn't really matter.
Like the Pudgy Pig, which was a fumble.
Yeah.
But on a positive note,
yes.
Still speaking of Power Rangers, I'm most of the way done through this. This is the 30th anniversary. Her story is in it. It's going to be part of, I think it's called like Power Rangers The Return. Let me look.
So this is a 30th anniversary Mighty Morphin like kind of reunion that has nothing to do with the special that aired Once and Always.
Correct. Her story or series is different than that. So this is kind of like an anthology, this book. It's got a bunch of short stories in it, and hers is a tease of what is to come.
Oh, so there is a bigger story that isn't out yet.
Correct.
Okay, that's better. Because I'm like, oh, she made such a big deal, and it's just a few pages and one. And okay, that makes
more sense. Also, the year-long Power Rangers crossover called Darkest Hour, I think part 1 just came out this week, or part 2. That is a cool setup, and I recommend people hopping on that train.
You should do some comic reviews of it. People love those.
Nope. If anybody asked, I would share my thoughts in a short YouTube short, but I gave up on that because the tears were too plentiful on my side and the views were too barren on the other. So
fair. I do like to rub salt in that wound whenever I can, though.
You do. That's cool. The comic's awesome. So we touched on it 3 different times, but we haven't spoken about Cosmic Fury since they announced, hey, Cosmic Fury is coming out on Netflix at the end of September.
Right. In terms of like, how are we going to review it type of situation?
No, just in general, because I've gotten spoiled about like 6 different things.
I saw the teaser trailer.
Yes.
I think there's been more released since then that I've intentionally avoided. I have gotten some spoilers. I mean, obviously everybody knows that. Well, if you don't know anything, stop listening. But this is like, but David Yost is coming back as Billy. That's like, and that's awesome. But it's weird. Go ahead.
I just want to clarify. He's coming back as Billy and the Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger.
Yes, which is pretty cool. Like,
not like in Zeo where he was there. No. He is morphed. He is alongside the team.
Yes,
he is there.
That is awesome. And seeing the opening credit thing like with him in it, that's awesome. And most of them, now I'm having a brain fart, but I think they show them in their Dino Fury suits first, right? So the assumption is that at some point all of them get new suits or whatever. Well, that's the assumption. I mean, we know Cosmic Fury has suits, but there have been other leaks. I've mostly managed to avoid them. I'm guessing you have not been able to avoid them.
No, I'm on Twitter too much. There's one big one that I'm very excited for that I got leaked or got spoiled.
I will say the only other thing I could think that I thought was a big spoiler, but it's not necessarily. It was like one of those like half fan theory things, which I'll just say if you're okay with it.
What's it regarding?
I don't know how to. Characters coming back.
Oh yes, okay, we're probably on the same then.
Okay, it was two parts, and one was something that I forget if it was Simon Bennett. I think it was Simon Bennett. Simon Bennett or someone else involved in the production said something about Jason David Frank and how it's a shame they won't be around to see that their character is sort of the linchpin of all this stuff going forward, which could mean a lot of things. It could just, like whatever, but it's been made super clear that that actor is not in the show. We know Amy Jo Johnson is not in the show. She wrote the comic, whatever. They both had their projects with Hasbro that weren't the Once and Always. So the assumption is that they're not in Cosmic Fury. But that doesn't mean those mantles can't be in Cosmic Fury. And I saw a thumbnail of somebody's video which showed those two suits. And it was like, oh, they're back. But then when I watched it was just somebody like fan craft theorying about like, here's how like this legacy could continue. So like, that's the kind of like it's something maybe, but I don't really know what it is, if anything.
That is a grain of salt in terms of spoilers, and the amount of spoilers I've found is the salt shaker, if you will.
Gotcha. There might be like one other thing I saw an image of or something that
I wasn't aware of that, but it honestly,
it also could be nothing. It was like,
So, without spoiling it for you, I have found out about certain characters that we knew were on the show, but some of their plot lines.
Oh, okay. I might know this too. Like certain. Okay, Cosmic Fury is not a direct adaptation of Uchu Sentai Q Ranger.
Yes,
but Uchu Sentai Q Ranger has 9 Rangers base, and then I think they even get a few more later.
Yeah,
and we're seeing Cosmic Fury, which has 6, and counting Billy, that's 7. So there's like at least 2 more main Rangers theoretically that would show up, even if they're not using the Sentai suit footage. They have those Zords, so it seems likely those will show up. And if they do, I do know who one of them would be if that happens, and I think almost everyone does, but I won't say it. And
I know too.
Okay, so there you go.
The one thing I will say, and this isn't really a spoiler, because I think you already mentioned it, the teaser trailer that we got, other than the opening credits, is that the Dino Fury Pink Ranger essentially recaps Dino Fury to a character in the first episode saying, hey, here's what's been going on. And like, that's the, she speaks to somebody and is like, hey, Zed is doing this and we have to fight Zed and blah, blah, blah. And you catch it next time on. So that's another part. But outside of spoiler talk, because we've skirted around that, and I don't love talking about it anyway, because A, we don't want to spoil anything the other person doesn't want to know. B, we don't like spoilers in general. And C, doesn't freaking matter. Right. What are your thoughts and feelings going into Cosmic Fury now? We're going to break it down to 3 parts. What are your thoughts and feelings in general?
Yeah.
What do you hope is going to happen or like want to happen? And what is something you absolutely hope they don't do?
Why don't I answer one and then we'll go back and forth?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. My general thoughts and feelings, and this is going to be a controversial hot take. And it's probably ridiculous for me to feel this way, but like weirdly, despite all my negativity about a lot of the other stuff we were talking about, like I'm kind of more excited for this than I was for Once a Ranger, or was it Once and Only?
Once and Always.
Once and Only. Because
always.
Once and Always.
Thank you.
Okay. Because I knew going into that it wasn't going to be a full cast reunion, which is already kind of disappointing, as much as it could be anyway. And I knew it was like kind of short and a one shot. And it was just like, I was excited for it, but I was kind of like, I knew there were limitations going in. And like, what are they going to do with this? Da, 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 da. And with this, I know they're having the entire cast back plus more of the previous season. And it's not going to be just one episode. So if episode 1 or 2 is a little weak, like we got like 10 chances, I think. Right. So, and the fact that this is going to be the end of Power Rangers in this form gives them a lot more freedom. If there's anything they ever wanted to do, now's the time to do it. Any actors that thought maybe they'd come back, this is their chance. And I'm a realist, and I might be completely let down. But I'm excited. I'm very optimistic.
I feel pretty similarly to you. I'm more excited about this, mostly because of the lack of, there were limitations, but it feels like there were less limitations for the series than there was for the special.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So the special I really enjoyed. And if I enjoyed that and this is that with a little more wiggle room, then I think I'm in for it. The weird feeling I have, and the only reason I know this is the last couple weeks I've been binging the show Star Wars Rebels.
Right.
And I love it and it's awesome. And that is for a completely different conversation. But I know that it's 4 seasons. It's ended. Mm-hmm. I started season 4 today.
Right.
In preparation to watch the Disney Plus series Ahsoka, because I heard it has a lot of ties to it.
It's unofficially Rebels season 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But as I'm watching it, and similar to when I finished the Clone Wars animated series, it's that feeling of like, I love it so much. I'm so excited, but I'm also bummed that I know that the end is in sight.
Yes.
So it's a mixed feeling. Like I'm appreciating it more. I really like it, but like the downside, and we've talked about that. Oh, I guess I'll go downside later. But yeah, like I'm very excited, but again, like it is the end of an era in some ways, and just kind of coming to grips with that. But switching over to the second part of this, what are you hoping would happen?
Let me add on there real quick with the end of the era thing. It's the end of the era of this type of Power Ranger.
Yes.
I like that it's sort of a hybrid. I like that it's not literally like it's something different. So it's kind of easing us out, but it's doubly bittersweet because we know there's going to be 1, 2, 3 years until another show of any kind. So it's not just like, well, now we're going to do the new thing. It's like, good luck waiting for the new thing whenever that comes.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Part two. But on the positive,
yes.
What are things that you like hope would happen or,
number one,
or whatever.
Number one, Casey to come back and suit up from Jungle Fury. That would be number one.
That would be the biggest curveball. I think it'd be more likely if we saw RJ out of that crew. I could see RJ coming in over Casey, but still, if a Jungle Fury Ranger came in out of nowhere, I'd be like, all right, how are you tying this in, guys? let me. I'm with it. Just let me hear it.
Well, and obviously, I would be happy with any of them, but I said Casey specifically because he has come back. But he didn't suit up. And I'm like, it was like a half, So that's not a realistic thing. That's, I would love that, but I don't really expect to see that. What I want to see, I want to see good Megazord battles, but I guess we know what Megazord battles we're going to see. They're not going to be the bad ones, like half CGI, not well done that we got in the last special. I want to see them use the extra space for extra characters to bring in old and new Rangers and do some real storytelling and character development with them, because we have these 6 characters that we spent 2 seasons with. We could just build on that. We're bringing Billy back. We know Billy, we have characters that can be promoted from within. And so I want to see a lot of character development and a lot of interactions between characters that we've never seen interact before. I want to see that. And I would love it if they go to certain planets. Like, okay, we're going to go to Rafcon and look, here's this person. Then they're going to go to the Mass Rider planet, wherever that was. And yeah. And what was the planet with the Alien Rangers? Aquataria?
Aquatar.
Aquatar. Go to Aquatar. Like hit some of these planets, make it be a little Star Trek, and maybe we see some characters we know, maybe we don't, but like that's a good place to have like little cameos. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I want to see, but that's like kind of the vibe I'm going for. And that's I don't know. Do you need more than that? I feel like that.
No. It's as much or as little as you wanted. I too want to see them continue kind of growing the team as a whole. It's not just the Rangers we know from that team. It's how the entire Ranger world and universe kind of comes together. I want there to be more integration of comic stuff, like stuff that came from the comics outside of the Morphin Masters.
Completely unrelated, but I do think I have another spoiler.
You and I have the same spoiler.
Okay, let's just say that there is a comic thing that I can remember.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then let me say this. It was a fleeting, whoops, try not to look at that thing. But I will say there is a real life actor that I would like to be involved in that comic book thing. And I don't know if that is happening or not. And if
Yeah.
it isn't, I will be very disappointed.
Yeah, I would be too. I could see it going either way. I don't think that person's a native, so that could be the tricky part, but who knows?
But again, I'm so sick of that excuse though. Like it's like the pay to fly. Like it's
no. I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm saying like I could see it being more of a logistics thing of like, hey, I have other things I'm doing now. Like I'm so disconnected from it.
Was Cosmic Fury, because it's already filmed. Was Cosmic Fury shot in New Zealand or America?
New Zealand, I believe.
I would assume, but I know they were moving. I guess they kept production there just for these last few episodes.
Yeah. They did. They built the new set for the base there.
Yes.
That's when
you're right. You're right. I had a brain fart because I know they dismantled everything on the timeline. Was okay, but here that's a point more in the favor of somebody like Casey who lives in New Zealand showing up. But
that's what I'm saying. So yeah. we could see that. And I think RJ's actor also lives there. So. But more time to the comics. We already know because of Billy, but Rangers outside of that team joining the team, if you will, and having it just be like, to me, I could see just based on kind of the vibe we've gotten from Simon Bennett and other people behind the scenes that even though this season is Cosmic Fury and there is a team of Cosmic Fury Rangers, I really think this 10-episode arc will be a Power Rangers team.
Yes.
It's not, oh, you can't, like, yeah, we're going to acknowledge where people came from, but, like, we're a team that was put together for this thing.
Right.
And I'm excited for that. I know that it's just going to be, it picks up right from the finale, and it's all one arc. There's no filler. There's no anything. It's just go.
Yeah, that's great. You know what it makes it go? I haven't read the comics in a long time, but one of the last arcs I read was when there was a group of random Rangers that were stuck in another universe.
Beyond the Grid.
And yeah, Beyond the Grid. And that, I could see that working really well too. Like similar, like just like, that's what I'm saying, like just random Rangers that like, we're the team now, let's go, you know? Yeah. And like that kind of, especially because they're out in the void, like you bond real quick if you're like away from Earth and you've never been away from Earth.
If they do something like that, but improve upon it for this, I think that would be awesome. I think kind of like you touched upon, I think there's going to be potential promotion from people we've seen, whether it's a Cosmic Fury Rangers or a mantle change or whatever, who knows, but I think that's very likely.
Little side tangent. When Zato came back at the end of the last episode and he had the all white, seemingly kind of Morphin Master looking suit, it wasn't my favorite suit of all time, but I'm like, that's fine. It had kind of a weirdness in the cape, but generally him being a White Ranger, cool, fine. And we knew Amelia, again, spoilers, but this has been out forever, is going to be promoted to the Red Ranger. So it's like, okay, he could be the White Ranger. That works great. But then, and this again is not new news, but I just keep seeing pictures of this like kind of tan beige suit. And I was like, I keep thinking like, why don't they make it more gold? Like, well, because they have a Gold Ranger. Just make it be the White Ranger? It really bothers me that he went from red to white for a minute to this weird beige. It's just like the worst color I've ever seen on a Ranger.
I think what it is, because I've heard some of this behind the scenes, at the end of Dino Fury, they're like, he's back, cool, the story continues. And then they're like, you actually get to continue the story. And they're like, what?
I've heard that too, but he could wear a white suit. Now, maybe they had in mind like, oh, well, this is his spirit suit, or he's a Morphomaster, or whatever headcanon they had, and they want to change that because now he's back in the show. But we've had White Rangers. Just let him be a White Ranger. What's the big deal? You know, why did they have to change it to tan?
Because maybe they wanted him to be the first unique Zenith Ranger.
Why tan? Give him a different color. Give him stripes. I don't know. Like,
your personal nitpick aside, we have a brand new Ranger take the win. Yeah.
Oh, no.
We're not in the negatives yet. We're still technically in the positives, and somehow you've polluted the well.
Sorry.
No, you're good. The other thing I hope,
yes,
and this is a fleeting hope because I don't think it's going to happen, but that they release stuff other than the Megazord, that weird dagger that's not actually in the show, and the Morpher to promote the series, but I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because it's coming out soon, so those toys would have been announced at the very least by now, right? Yeah. Halloween costumes. Well, I think they have Dino Fury Halloween costumes out.
Apparently, those masks are ghastly. By the way,
really?
Yeah, in a little bit, let's look them up because I heard they just look atrocious.
Okay. I'll do it right now.
Yeah. But that's it that I have for the positive / hopes. What are some things that you're worried about or you don't want them to do?
Oh, I see. Okay, hold on. Let me share this. There's more than one version, maybe, is the issue here, because it doesn't actually look that bad depending on what you're looking at. Put it up here. So I just put in Halloween mask. So that one right there, that's the
that's the toy one.
Right. Then there's this one for little kids, which looks dopey, but little kids often have like a half mask. So which is the especially bad one?
It comes with the suit, and it's not for like 4-year-olds.
Okay, here's Spirit Halloween Red.
Yep.
I can't zoom in. It won't let me zoom in.
Just click on the new link.
Okay, there we go. I mean, it doesn't.
Your screen's frozen for me. I can't see anything different.
Oh. I don't.
It just shows your Google search.
Okay, I guess I can't. When I click the link. All right, let me open it and then I'll close this. It sometimes gets weird like this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at it and turn that off.
I'll let you know when I can see it.
Okay, I gotta re-add it.
Yeah.
I need to update this, or I need to do something different. It's totally possible. It's my fault.
Could be either. Seems likely.
Bottom, and then we'll share it with everybody. Okay, so this looks like the standard muscle built-in suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the bad mask.
That looks fine. I heard the adult one is the one that looks wonky.
Okay, I mean it has a little cut for breathing, and I mean it's
that looks fine. I've seen the other one where it's like all grid.
Okay, I'm gonna put in Dino Fury adult,
or just Power Rangers.
Oh, okay, I'll try Power Rangers. But I feel like I'll get all MMPR if I do that.
I mean, you'll get all of them, but whatever.
Out of here, coupon. That's showing me the movie ones. All right, well, I'm done looking it up.
I don't know, whatever. You can look it up. It looks terrible. All right, back to you. What's some things that you hope they don't do / are worried about?
The suits in general, and I'm not alone in that. I don't like the color on Zato, but overall, and I said this when they revealed them, like, why do they have padded muscle in them? They don't look great. They don't look great. And the helmet's just sort of being a reuse. I can get over that. There are seasons of Sentai and Power Rangers that I'm like, these suits, these mechs look terrible, and I've still loved it, so whatever. But I'm not excited about the suits. I'm not super worried about the Zord fight stuff because I know they're using footage that exists. Mm-hmm. But after watching Once and Always, that was such a bad. I'm like, I don't want to see more of their like half-ass CGI. Just don't do it. Use the footage. I'd rather have people go, "Whoa, did you see that?" Like just some, I don't know, something. And I hope they don't. Oh, this just occurred to me weirdly. I hope they don't kill Billy in an attempt to be like mature and dark. I hope it's not like here he is, and then in the second episode he dies. And I'm like, we gotta like don't do that. Yeah, like make it be a little more mature. We don't need it to be that mature. I'm not against comic relief, but I don't want cartoony, over the top slapstick that takes me out of the reality of the situation.
Agreed.
And I want, what I don't want is an unsatisfying ending. I want an ending that feels like this is the end of this series and this chapter of Power Rangers, kind of like the end of the Zordon era. They didn't know where, but it felt like they were trying to put an ending on it. I want that. Good, bad, or indifferent, give us an ending because whatever comes next is a new chapter. So that I don't want a bad ending.
Yeah, I agree. I think my fear is, and this is a series we both happen to like, but this is an ending that I mostly dislike. Dino Supercharge had an ending I really didn't like, where they're like, "Oh, we kind of changed time a little bit. Nothing mattered, and dinosaurs are here." Like, I don't want a timey-wimey, we changed something at the last minute, we knee-jerked you out of it kind of thing. Like, have things be more definitive.
Yeah.
And I agree with you for kind of the in-space parallels of it can end there, but it's still open enough where if the story wants to continue in some way, it can, but not. Yeah, definitely
I don't want any hanging Here's what I don't want. I don't want some villain like floating on an asteroid, like I'm gonna be back next week, or like, will we ever get our powers back, or just nothing like that. Wrap it all up, and then if you want to come back to it, fine, but close the door.
This goes back. Thank you. I would love if somehow in the story we are able to get some previous questions answered. Without necessarily spending too much time on it. Namely, who's a Phantom Ranger?
I'm one of the people that always thought it should be Billy.
It would have made sense. I'm trying to think what else is like. I'm sure there's a Watch Mojo list of something or like unanswered questions in Power Rangers. But yeah, I'm sure there's others, but that's the first one that comes to mind.
You know what? Okay, here's something I would like to see. Sorry, I'm backing up. I would like to see a previous villain come back and be a strong ally or even a ranger. I don't mean like, oh, in one fight they kind of help them, but like, I'm going to be on the ship with you. I'm the new mentor. I'm a ranger. Just, somebody that had been a villain. I love redemption arcs like that.
Or you get like semi-reformed Divatox going like, yeah, you could use here's a spaceship giving you support fire kind of thing.
I'll take that too. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. There's a lot of possibilities. I will definitively say we will enjoy it. I don't think it's something that we're going to be like, this was disappointing.
No,
all the way through. Like I'm
and that's where I come back to why I'm more excited than I was for Once and Always, because we have 10 chances. And yes, it's one big story, but if the whole story is disappointing, but there's a couple good episodes, well, that's something, you have many opportunities to do cool stuff.
So fourth question, and this is specifically for our show.
Yes.
Assuming it drops all at once, how do you, in a perfect world, what is your perfect scenario of how we would watch it and review it?
In a perfect world, you and me would get together in Meat Space and binge it over the course of a weekend. That is my perfect world. And then record it, as we watch each episode or after we're all done.
With pizza.
Absolutely with pizza. Okay. Yeah. That is my perfect world.
All right.
Obviously, that's not going to happen.
Next best version.
You and me try to watch it online together, but here's the thing. I think we both agree on this. I don't want to watch it with you and be recording at the same time because there's a different dynamic. And so
1,000%.
Yeah. So I want to watch it day one when it comes out. If we could coordinate that to watch it together, great. And then I don't know, because it is a thing where like I feel like I have to binge it whether I want to or not to avoid spoilers.
Same.
And because the last episode or two are going to be the ones that have the biggest spoilers. Those are the ones people are going to be posting pictures of 3 days later. So I feel like best case scenario, we're able to watch some or all of them together. And then maybe we post an overall like, hey, here's what we thought of the whole series. Do we need to go episode by episode? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to make sense because other people are going to be doing it way before we are. You know what I mean? And so,
I mean, that was with Dino Fury also, though, and we still spaced them out and it seemed to do all right.
That's true. But Dino Fury, but we would catch up and then fall behind and there was more to look forward to. And I mean, if you're watching, you have an idea in the comments what you'd like to see, let us know. But yeah, I do feel like we're going to binge it as soon as it comes out as quickly as we can, try to watch it together. But then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could do a review of like the first, maybe like when it first comes out, you and me that night, watch 1, 2, 3, however many we could watch before we like, I got to go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And then either that same day or the next day, record our thoughts of here's what we think of those few episodes and do batches maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking right now to see what day. So,
well, while he's looking, the toy that I got Power Rangers, but I just came in today. Speaking of G.I. Joe, is the Trouble Bubble. It's the Cobra Flight Pad. Pod.
So anyway. I'm looking right now, and yes. Cosmic Fury comes out Friday the 29th
of September.
Yeah.
Let me see if I had anything going on that weekend. So you're thinking maybe, well,
go
ahead.
Going back to the question I asked you, in a perfect world,
right? Exactly
what you said first. Second is mostly the same. So what we in theory could do.
Yeah. I have nothing going on that weekend. I can tell you that.
if we
this is, this is stuff we can figure out offline because it's starting to get like we're not really talking.
No. I'm getting it. I'm getting it right here. I'm getting it right here.
All right, he's getting it. Show. He's getting it, everybody.
In theory, if we did it where we maybe watch the episode at not even at midnight, because if we coordinated with our families where Friday night you and I watch it and then record something because we're going to be jazzed.
Yes.
And then determine how we do the rest of the episodes, probably, reminisce and marinate with them week by week or something, who knows, but like getting it all done right away for spoilers and just avoid the internet all day Friday.
Right.
That might be the best move.
Because it drops like midnight Thursday is what you're saying.
It drops midnight Thursday going into Friday.
Okay. Well, I'm down to try to watch it Friday evening.
Afternoon, evening, one of those.
Yeah, as early as we can, and then record that same night or the next day or whatever. Yeah, sure.
Okay. That is the loose plan for right now. As always, it could change. But capping off the Cosmic Fury thoughts, talk, speculation, planning, any final closing feelings?
No, I think I kind of covered it all. Like we're generally positive, but it is bittersweet because it's the end of an era, and then we're in the void. For a while it was like, well, this might end, but there's going to be a movie or an animated series or something else. And that's still being said. But like now, between the restructuring and the pushing back of things, the fact that they're putting a lot of the Power Rangers stuff on pause and the actor and writer strike, if they said today, okay, we're going to do a new series, it's going to be 2 years. You know what I mean? So
they also can only have like the Power Ranger Hasbro people talk about it and nobody can promote it.
True. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying, that like, there's nothing on the books that is coming out anytime soon, which is not good to begin with, but it's going to be a while. So like, we're going to have time to enjoy all the stuff that's come out for a while because
But again, if you have your own thoughts, feelings, spoiler free, please, put them in the comments.
If you don't have your own thoughts and feelings, you might want to look into getting some, or maybe you're a robot.
Could be, or you're a emotionless life form.
Were you going to say Vulcan?
No.
Okay, because Vulcans have emotions, just saying that.
I know. I'm not a Trekker or Trekkie, whichever preferred term you use for yourself.
I don't know how often Trekker is used anymore. I know when Next Generation was big, and I watched the original. I've watched all of them, as we said. I watched the original series, but when Next Generation came out, that was the first time I started hearing Trekker. And I took it as like, well, Trekkies are like the original fans, but I'm the cool Next Generation fan. I'm a Trekker. And I would correct people for like a year of my life. They'd be like, are you like a Trekkie? I'm like, I'm a Trekker. And I don't do that anymore. And it doesn't matter. I like Star Trek.
Me not being in the fandom, my understanding was people didn't like being called Trekkie because they thought it was demeaning. So Trekker was cooler and preferred, and everything you said rings true.
Yeah. But to be clear, I was like a young teenager at the time. So, that makes sense. As an adult, I say, yes, I like Star Trek. If they want to call me a Trekkie, a Trekker, whatever.
As two grown men talk about Power Rangers, we really don't care what you call us. We are fans of fandom.
I'm a Ranger and you're a Rangee.
Yeah. I don't know. But until next time, I am Big Dog.
I've been Gazbot.
And you're not the Big Dog.
No, not the Big Dog.
And
we do it to the
Power. Bam! I miss doing that. See you guys later.
Yeah, man. End credits.
I haven't been as diligent looking at the comment section of the previous videos, but I might have to go in there and take a peek.
That would be good because I also haven't been. Because I've been wrangling guest hosts and doing. I might be at Ranger Stop.
Ooh.
It's a good chance. It's not totally finalized, but I would say there's a 99% chance. I can't say 100 because I'm waiting for a few things to book, but like I figured out my flight, but I haven't bought the ticket yet. I figured out family house stuff. But it is a thing where when you get a table, some conventions are like, buy a table, done. Some are like, okay, send us an email with all the info. We'll get back to you. It's that kind. So assuming tables are still available, then I will get one and I will go, which I believe they are. And I have tabled there before. So I have a good relationship with them. But until I get that email back, I don't know for sure, but it's pretty short.
I'm excited to see all 12 new headshots that you're going to do specifically for Ranger Stop.
No, I don't need to do 12. I was looking. There are a few I need to do. Mostly Wild Force, actually.
Yeah.
Mostly Wild Force.
The 15 that you're going to do are going to be really cool. Look forward to seeing them on your Instagram.
You're right.